Carolyn Holzman, and this is Confessions of an SEO. Do not worry, you've come across the least SEO podcast on the planet. There's no interviews, no FOMO. Kind of just a place where we can talk about some of the things that only SEOs probably care about. Well, maybe not. But we're going to chat a little more about my thoughts and data on the helpful content system. Why must we chat about it again? Well, I really think that we need to. There's a lot of information flying around, and I just think it's important. Thank you for coming. Welcome to Season 4, Episode 13 of Confessions of an SEO. Before I get into this week's topic, I just wanted to say I've appreciated the questions that have come in on what I think is really going on with the helpful content system. I'll be speaking at length about it and in person to answer all questions I can at this summer's Rank Elevation Summit taking place in Canada, June 10th through the 11th. I'll put all the details in the description as well as on the American Way Media Facebook page. And I'll also have a video there from a webinar back in early March. Currently, at the time of this recording, tickets are available. I don't think you can afford to miss this. All right. Now, if you are thinking that this helpful content system is entirely different than previous updates, I should say this helpful content system baked into a core update. If you think it's entirely different than anything else you've seen before, I agree. It really is unlike anything we've had to deal with up until now. Is it bigger than our ability to adapt? Absolutely not. But much as they speculated that like when the Native Americans couldn't see the English ships sort of pulling up to the shore, whether that's true or not, I don't know. But maybe this is our own modern day equivalent of invisible ships. I think this is a new Google factor, but not a factor like we're used to talking about it. You know how we've said backlinks come in and go out as a weighted ranking factor. Well, imagine some sort of thing we haven't ever experienced before, but imagine a 3D backlink factor. It kind of blows your mind, right? Well, this system, from what I have seen, has a number of parts to it based on what I've seen when it comes to data. And there's nothing so common as someone speaking a very plain, obvious fact, and the ones so desperate to know it overvalue what they think they know to where they can't see the forest for the trees. That House Fresh video series that I shared with you, and you can go back and listen to those shows where I talk about that. But that whole experience for me is kind of like case in point. A lot of the comments on the one issue, when Marie and I pulled it back and everything, everybody immediately went to, oh, they cannibalize themselves. Oh, this is cannibalization. Oh, like that was a party trick. No, that's not the factor. It is one of the symptoms. So it's like saying that cough medicine will take care of that cough, Doc Holliday, because no, you cannot cure tuberculosis with cough syrup. I don't know. It might help with the cough a little, but it does nothing for the TB. Just like that, you can't solve a helpful content issue on one page of your site. See, I told you it was a slippery pig. I will go further on this today, but I want to mention something. This is also an episode sponsored by Magic Mind, and they make productivity shots using ingredients backed by science, along with a slow-release caffeine from green tea. They have what I think of as an energy shot that doesn't make you jittery. If in the very off chance that it does, just know there's 100% money-back guarantee, no questions asked. So just as we're all about the health of the sites we rely on our livelihood, our health is our true wealth. So it makes sense that what we put in our bodies should probably help it. Check out magicmind/ magicmind.com/confessions. And if you like what you see, I even have a coupon for you. It is Confessions20, and it will save you some money. Getting back to the topic, I read 2 articles this week that continue to address the frustration about how this update isn't bringing any helpful content recovery relief. No recoveries on sites that were hit. Now, both articles were compiled by Barry Schwartz. Hi, Barry. I will put the URLs in the description, but the first one, the title is Google, like this is Google talking. Fixing a helpful content site isn't about we're measuring against the previous version of that site. I think I said that right. Well, all I've got to say is amen, brother. I'll say it now. You cannot optimize one page and get out from under a helpful content hit. Wait, I know you're thinking, Carolyn, you don't often agree with Google. And you're right, I don't. But what I'm saying is based on the data. It's what the data provides some evidence of that makes me say that. And it's just coincidence that it sounds like I'm agreeing with Google because, say it with me, correlation is not causation. I'll get back to that. And the other article is based on a Twitter thread by Glenn Gabe. And the title of that is Still No Google Helpful Content Update Recoveries, but yes, core update recoveries. Now, Gabe, is watching a lot of sites and seems to have grouped them into 2 piles. One is made up of sites that were hit by core updates, not including this latest one. And another one is made up of sites that were hit during one of the previous helpful content updates, when they used to run them separately, because now I don't think we're going to be able to tell the difference moving forward, whether it was a core or helpful content that took that site out. Now, what he's doing is a great service by collecting this data. Thank you, Gabe. And in a nutshell, he sees some sites that were hit during a core update come back to life a little, but sadly, nothing even close to a recovery signal for sites that were hit. So going back to John Mueller's comments from the first article, and Barry even said he had a hard time forming that title, but there is reason. It was another Twitter post from Google's John Mueller. He's pretty much said that when it comes to fixing your site that's hit by the helpful content update, quote, it's not relative to previously. It's basically a reevaluation of the whole site in the new, current online world and user expectations. Thank you, John. With clarity like that, you'll be invited to all the best parties. Not. So he is trying to help. I'll give him credit for that. And it is in there. We're so used to measuring our content page by page. And we trust implicitly that Google will show us everything they have on our site in Search Console. I've mentioned this before, I think, that, light is one of those things that can behave like particles and waves. It's not one or the other. Helpful content is like that. It's pages and it's the site, or maybe I should say domain. One thing I have noticed, we have to consider that Google might be moving multiple pieces at the same time, like unrelated multiple pieces. What if Google tidied up their knowledge graph? The way that all the information is connected to each other in a way that they could only do with artificial intelligence. I didn't say perfectly. I just said with artificial intelligence. The question I have is, how would we know? What if we're no longer living in a keyword-based universe anymore? Meaning, we can't just make up some terms and create our own topics and rank our own shit using our own words. Last week I said that I think even recognizing a site has been hit by this, like a core update moving forward, it's going to be a skill. I mean, it's already a skill, but it's going to be an even more enhanced skill. The thing about the helpful content system is by the time we start to see the monetary damage, it's probably not the money pages that would have been the targets. Oh, they were the victims for sure, but the helpful content system may have started with something else. And if you're wondering what I mean, you really should listen to last week's show. It's the helpful content palaver. Now, if you think you have a site that's been hit by the helpful content system, and now, all of that is baked into the core algorithm, at the time of this recording, the core update is still rolling out. I would think sometime this week we're going to hear that they've, called that it's over. But I do think right now Google is still, recrawling all of our content, so it could take a little bit of time before it comes to your particular neighborhood. Now, if you are in the indexation group, you are probably going to get a heads up when I see what I need to see before I call an update. So if you want fresh out of the oven indexation data and when the update is over, check out Crawl or No Crawl on Substack. That's a bold claim, Carolyn. I know. Well, anyway, if you do have a site that is hit, send an email to confessions@americanwaymedia.com and put the words helpful content casualty in the subject line. Now, if there are any topics you'd like me to cover this month that aren't about the helpful content system, you need to let me know. And you can text now. Confessions has a text line. It's 512-222-3132. That'll be in the description. And you just text me with your topic idea. Okay. Well, thanks again. And until next week, I'll see you in the SERPs.